Hi guys, Nigel here again with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, but you knew that because you tuned into the channel. A little update for you and some B-52 talk. In my email, in the video title, I have put "Another One Bites the Dust." And what I'm talking about there is Midwest Model Shop. What is it with these ship modelers all disappearing on us? Fantastic guy, great modeler. Really interesting to watch, really interesting to listen to. Lots of sort of, not so much how-tos, but this is how I do it, and I'm going to show you how I build these tiny guns and everything. And I really enjoyed his channel, and all of a sudden he's gone. And I just hope it's nothing too serious. I hope it's something like, you know, with Ozzy, it's just kind of people getting on his nerves and he's decided to take his channel down. I hope it's nothing too serious like health or, you know, bloody tornadoes or anything like that. So I'm afraid I'm ignorant in saying I can't remember your name, my friend, but if you are watching this, I'd love to know why you took your channel down. Just put a message in the comments below, because you will be sorely missed. Honestly, I was really looking forward to your Titanic build, and your Missouri stuff was just wonderful. So yeah, I'd love to know why you took your channel down if you're watching this. I also had a comment. If you've been watching my build for beginners on the B-52, I think it was part 12 or 13, I talked about scribing the engines, and I showed you about using Dymo tape or the special tape you can get. I had a fantastic tip from a guy, and he said basically stick your Dymo tape to Tamiya tape, because Tamiya tape is a lot more resilient and you can stick it 3 or 4 more times. So Dymo tape, generally once you get a bit of dust on it, that's it. Whereas Tamiya tape will sort of work 2 or 3 times more. So stick your Dymo tape to a bit of Tamiya tape. You can cut down on your Dymo tape usage, because sooner or later you're not going to be able to get that stuff, I reckon. So I also had a comment from a guy. He said he's got like 300 rolls of the stuff and he's got it for sale on eBay, and he's a US eBay guy. So if you're in the UK, you might want to buy sort of 10 or 20 rolls to make it worth your while. But his eBay shop is Bird Biz R. His name's Bird, so that's where the bird comes, B-I-R-D, and then it's B-I-Z-R, Bird Biz R. So that's his channel name on eBay. So go and have a look, and if you want some Dymo tape. I also want to say a massive thank you to all the Patreon and PayPal people who are donating to the channel. I've had some fantastic donations. I've got people that have been donating for a long time. You know, just a few quid a month, and it's so gratefully received. And a few people this last month, since I've been doing more sort of talking to the camera, there have been people giving me some fantastic donations, which is really, really much appreciated. Thank you very much. I am going to be buying a camera, new lighting and stuff. I did mention it before. As soon as I can bear to go to a shop with a bloody mask on, then I will. But at the moment I just can't bear it. And I know people are going to send me links to government websites and where I don't have to wear a mask and stuff. I just don't want the hassle of facing someone who says, "Why are you wearing a mask?" You know, I can kind of see the point in wearing masks. What I don't understand is a few weeks ago the government made it anywhere in a public place you have to wear a mask, except for a pub or a restaurant, and now the numbers are going up. So don't get that, but I'm sure people are going to tell me in the comments below why they think that is. But yeah, it looks like we're heading for another lockdown, so whatever. Anyway, on a much more cheery note, you may remember in one of my B-52 videos, I talked about wanting a B-52H. I mentioned that I wanted the Italeri G kit, and I'm sorry I've forgotten your name, how rude of me. But basically got in touch with me, and this kit here became available, so I got that one. So thank you very much for that. And then how rude of me to forget your name. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. I'm awful with names. So sorry. And I had a few people like Alain and various other people whose names I've also forgotten contacted me and said this kit is here, it's here. You know, Australia, Canada and everything. Trouble is, it's all well and good having it in Australia or Canada. The prices were quite keen, but the postage is quite expensive. And then when it comes here, you've got the import duty, well not the import duty, the VAT, and the charge they put on you for actually charging you the VAT. So it just mounts up and mounts up. And another reason I didn't want to get it from too far abroad was if the company's packaging wasn't that great. We all know the Model Collect B-52 is not the best packaged kit in the world. It's one of the worst, to be honest. Compared to their B2, it's dire. And a lot of parts get damaged. The vortex generators get broken off the wings, and there's one part of the fuselage that gets snapped off, and and I've suffered that on my kit. So I wanted to be a little bit careful. So Barry Jones got in touch with me and basically said he can't find anything, he's looking, and offered to buy me one. And I was like, no, Barry, no, I don't want you to buy me one. I'm just looking for one local to home for a reasonable price. All of a sudden I get an email. Found this one. It's an Aviation Megastore in Holland. And next email that came up was from PayPal. You've got £100. So Barry and his partner Audrey Hepburn, she they have sent me £100 to buy the B-52H kit. So I can't thank you enough. That is so generous. Thank you very, very much. And so I did that. It actually came to £92.58. So I'm in your debt for 42 pence, Barry. And here's the kit here. So we'll get this up, and there it is from Aviation Megastore. It looks like it's beautifully packaged. I don't know if you can see on the end of the box. It looks like they've kind of taken the corners off, so basically it's in there, it's sort of suspended. We'll see. We'll open that up in a minute on camera, because you know how much I enjoy my packaging videos. So thank you very much, Barry. I can't thank you enough for that, and Mrs. Hepburn. And also, if you remember, I talked in one of my builds, part 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever, in the B-52 Buff Beginners build, I mentioned that if you've got these old rare kits, don't throw away the box. Okay, don't throw away the box, don't throw away the instructions, because quite often these kits come up with no box. Reason being, they'll be in a loft, they'll be in a basement, they get damp, they might get flood damage, whatever. And as you can imagine, the plastic parts will be absolutely fine, but the box and the instructions and the decals will be destroyed. Now, this kit came up, it's with instructions and decals, so I can only assume it got damp, and the box, maybe it was in a shed or a garage or something, and the box just dissolved. Sometimes you'll also get mice attacking the box. So these kits do come up, and this one came up on eBay. I haven't opened it yet. There it is. This is from Kits. And yeah, really nice packaging. We'll see how good it is when we open up the box, but looks to be really, really good. So that is basically the Monogram B-52 kit with no box, and I've got a box. Here it is. Here is my spare box. So it's tatty, but it's a box. So I've now got another complete kit, and I got that on eBay for like £37. So I'm chuffed, because boxed kits are fetching that double that and more. So yeah, brilliant. Another thing I want to show you now is a picture Andy Richards sent me. Andy's been following me from day one, and regularly communicates. Thank you, Andy, with some great videos and stuff. And he's into his Russian stuff, like the AM124, which I've got here. You've all seen that one, and the 225 should be on the way soon. Yeah, so Andy sent me this picture here, which is a B-52 late H in a shockwave with the apparently he tells me, I've always wondered what this is, but basically it's the moisture in the air is being compressed in a shockwave. And if you look, it's got a goatee, it's got the all around the engines, on the back of the engines. There's a look, you normally see it on jet fires and it just sort of comes off the wings or whatever, but yeah, you can see this B-52's got loads of it. It's a fantastic picture. So thanks for that, Andy, and I thought I'd share that with everyone. I knew they'd like to see it. The beginner's build, I'm currently working on part 15. It's a long one for me. I'm not sure if it's going to be a long one for you, but it's basically the wings. So thinning out the trailer edge of the wings, sanding out the joint on the front, replacing all the raised detail. At one point I nearly broke and started to scribe it, and I thought, no, it's a beginner's build. I'm going to show you how to replace the raised detail. If I do another one, then we'll do the engraving then. So so yeah, part 15 will be with you in the next day or 3. So we'll see how we go. And I think in part 15 we'll cover fitting the engines as well, because I want to fit the engines to the wings before we actually fit them to the aircraft, and then we can paint them and everything, and then just mask them off with tissue paper and stuff, because one of the, I think it was Stuart, one of the followers, said he remembered how difficult it was painting and masking the engines as a complete aircraft. You can imagine trying to hold that massive B-52 and fill around those pylons in the tops of the wings where the fit isn't very good. So I think we'll fit them to the wings first, paint all the bottom and everything, prime it all black, keep the paint sort of half an inch away from the joint where we're going to be working on that, and then we can paint the engines, cover them in tissue paper, job done. So there we go. But yeah, I'm probably telling you too much. You shouldn't know all this. It's secret. It's secret stuff. You shouldn't be talking about it. So, resin. In this video, towards the end, I'm going to do a shameless plug and show you all my resin again, because, to be honest, I'm not getting many orders for it. It's probably not even paying for the cost of the silicone molds. So, because the silicone's quite expensive. Yeah, I'm not getting many orders for it, so I'm going to plug it a bit. But a couple of people have actually, well, about 4 people who've bought them have actually come back to me and said they're really impressed with it. One guy, Dale, has actually sent me pictures of his kit. I just had to stop the video to look for the guy's name on the computer. I'm terrible with names. He sent me pictures that I'll show you when we're actually looking at the resin parts, and he's actually fitted his nose, and it's really, really nice. He's fitted it nicer than mine because, as I said, mine is too long. I need to cut that off and move it back a bit. I've made it too long. But basically, there we go. So we'll look at some resin parts as well, and just a quick teaser, there we go. Resin for the Model Collect tailplanes. So let's have a look at these boxes. First thing I want to do is look at this B-52H that Barry kindly bought for me. And we're going to get it unpacked and we'll see what Aviation Megastore's packing is like. It's come from Holland. As we all know, the kit packaging isn't very good. I did email them and ask them if they could wrap things up inside in tissue paper or bubble wrap or something so it doesn't all rub and knock together. I think we all know that Model Collect kits, they kind of use wherever they've got lying around. I think they pop that at local shops and grab a couple of bags from the supermarket, because you know, you get the kits and some of it's in cellophane, some of it's in an open-ended plastic bag, some of it's in a stapled bag, and some of it's in a sealed bag. It's like, what? It's very, very strange. And they all seem to, I've got 3, but the 2 I've got, they're all different. The packaging's different. So we'll have a look at that one. Then we'll have a look at the kit that I've bought for filling up my empty box, and then we'll have a look at some resin, and then I'll come back and say goodbye. See you in a minute. Right, so here we go. Let's have a look inside this box and see what it's like. Be very careful with the knife opening this tape. So always be careful with your knife. Don't go banging in and cutting through, because you might find you damage something inside. So we'll just cut through this tape. Now I'm off camera for some of this, but never mind. And already I can see they've wrapped the whole box in bubble wrap, which is good of them. As I say, postage from this company isn't the cheapest, but it was about all I could find. Well, I didn't find it. Barry did. But basically, I was watching the PM store show last night. Phil Flory and Matt, PM Model Shop. Really good shop. Have a look on there. Some really good prices. And Matt, who's responsible for all the ordering, he actually said he didn't know what was going on with Model Collect. So I'm kind of glad I got this, because basically, look at that, great. I love the box art on this. It's got LA on it, but then the actual kit's got MT. So there we go. So there's the kit. The box is a little bit glossy where it's been rubbing, and I can feel that it's a cram. But the actual box for this kit is probably a little bit too small. So we've got it there. I'll give you a quick look around the box. I'm sure you've all seen one of these before. Basically, you've got the H engines, which is why I want this kit, because apparently these engines have got some issues, and I want to see what the issues are, and then make some corrections. We've got a rotary launcher there. We've got some bombs on their pylons here. So yeah, we've got the incorrectly shaped nose. I think the tail on this one is correct. We've got the Vulcan cannon in there. Extended flaps, and on this one we'll have the actual tracks on there so you can fit them, not like on the initial kit, the G. And here we've got, here we go, BD, they said. Here we've got all our stencil decals and everything, and we've got the nose art there. We've got our AGM 129s, so we've got them unfolded and folded. So yeah, very, very nice. So let's have a look in the box and see how it came across the water. Yeah, they didn't do anything by the look of it. So as we can see by all this damage and all this plastic, the plastic bag, you can see it's been rubbing around in there a lot, but we're not too bothered. Now, something you need to be careful about this, Phil Flory, if you remember on the Phil Flory site, he's actually done a build of this kit, and he did the stretched skin effect, or the stressed skin effect. So if you are a member on Flory's site, go and have a look. But basically, I think these are the H pylons, I think. But you have to be very careful, because like these are G engines. Okay, so you've got to be careful what parts you're using, and these are the H engines. Here you go. Cellophane bag, all open-sided. That end's all pulled open, but this side was never sealed by the look of it, unless it's ripped open. But yeah, we've got a cellophane bag there. We've got a plastic bag there. We've got a plastic bag there, which isn't opened. We've got a plastic bag there. Yeah, and unfortunately on this one, the vortex generators aren't protected. So I did send them an email and ask them if they could wrap the wings up, and they've just completely ignored it. So thanks for your great customer service there, Aviation Megastore. Well done. Yeah, so that's the kit. Let's have a look how much damage there is. This is the later nose you can see here. So we've got our weapons there. So we can see here, that's the underside. You don't have vortex generators on the underside. But it looks like they're all still okay. And they're all still okay. That's a miracle. They normally get all snapped off. On mine, they're all snapped off. But I'm looking now at making photo etch to replace the vortex generators on these models, front and back, because there's also a set of vortex generators along the leading edge which is missing. So I'm looking now at making some photo etch. I've been talking to a guy who does it, and we'll go from there. So, massive instruction manual. This is crazy. If you look at that, and then you look at this one, there you go. If you've got the, I always forget the name, Old Crow Express, this kit, that's the instruction manual you get, and then with this one you get this one. So when you actually come to look inside at the build, it's my G engines there, you know, you look at here, similar page, similar place in the build. You know, it's absolutely tiny in comparison. So yeah, but as you can see on this one, we've got the H engines, and apparently there are issues. So I don't know. They look a little bit straight to me. I think they should be a bit more tapered than that. Some nice fan detail on the front, which look good with the wash. I don't think these have inlet guide vanes. I think they just go straight into the compressor. But then you've got their turbines on the back there, which probably aren't correct. They should have a cone on there, I think. So yeah, lots and lots of little tiny pieces on here, but you knew that. And these are all the parts here for the G engine, I believe. So as I say, you know, if you are getting this kit, be very, very careful. Any of the H derivatives, early or late, they'll have the same engines. They've got the TF33s, whereas all the others will have the earlier J57 engines, is it? I can't remember now. So yeah, but thing is with these kits, you have to be really careful with packaging them out. As you can see, you can't get it to go back in the same as it was, and when you put the top on the box, it's all going to be sitting up too high. So if you have got a stash, you need this to be at the top. But then if you've got Revell kits, you need them to be at the top because the boxes are poo. So yeah, so let's have a look at this kit I've just bought for without any instructions. But thank you very much, Barry. Really looking forward to making a start on this, and making a start on these engines, because yeah, this with some corrections will look absolutely stunning in its grey colour scheme. I'm half tempted to get the Edard photo etch set and go the whole hog and do the undercarriage, flaps, Bombay, everything. So I think this deserves it, with a corrected nose, corrected engines, corrected tailplanes, corrected fin, I think, because it has no rudder, and the right antenna and everything on it. I think it will look absolutely amazing. Okay, so this is the kit in the box, how it's come. It's got this separate flap on the side here, which flapped over here, and I've removed it. But this is what I call packaging. So thank you very much. This company is called Kits. On eBay, they're Kits 528 or something. But if this is how they do their packaging, the guy's name was Chris. I've got a feel I know he is. I've seen him at some shows. But look at this thick cardboard here, really thick cardboard here. And then we've got all this bubble wrap, which is beautifully done. We've got the fuselage parts here, still bagged up, still on their sprues as well, look. Wow. So that's really cool. And then we've got here, take that bubble wrap away, we've got our engine pylons, and this is the open engine part. So, I mean, there's not even anything broken off the sprues here, if we look at it. So it's pretty bloody impressive stuff. Thank you. This is good. We've got the Revell instructions. So this is the Revell instructions. It says 2000 there. It's the right decals. It's just Revell instructions. And my kit, if you look at it, it's got the same instructions, but they're monogram. So they're exactly the same. Look at the first page, exactly the same, but monogram. So obviously when Revell did the later version from the Miami one, they obviously changed it. So this can basically become a monogram kit because it's a monogram box I've got for it. So that's that sprue. We've got our instructions, and then more bubble wrap. We've got our clear parts in there, which are nice and all together and not broken. Got our wings and fin there still on the sprue. I'll tell you what, guys, 37 quid. This is an absolute bloody bargain. Absolute bargain. And then we've got down here, we've got our weapons pylons and our tailplanes all still on their sprues together. So really chuffed with that. Just think if Revell made their boxes this strong, hey, wouldn't it be good? Right then, guys, let's have a look at some resin. Just want to start by saying here, guys, this is an edit I'm putting in after the effect, for Phil Siviter, Harold Sidness and Mark Baker. Your B-52 resin parts left the post office today, so they're winging their way to you. Phil, you're in the UK, so you may well get yours tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday the 18th of September. So yeah, they went today, 17th. Sorry, I promised I'd send them on Tuesday, and I couldn't because I had ended up having. Well, sorry, so I promised I'd send them on Wednesday, and I couldn't because I had to end up staying in to wait for the UPS man to come and deliver the B-52H. I didn't want him to drop that or leave it by the gate or anything. So yeah, basically I ended up sending them all off to you today. So a couple of days late from where I originally said. I'm sorry, but they have gone off to you today. So expect a knock from the postman soon. Okay, so as I said, this is a shameless plug. I'm just basically showing everybody what I've already made, and if anybody's interested, they can get in touch with me, and we'll go from there. But basically, as we all know, Model Collect, the very first G model they made came with a very incorrect nose. This was the upgrade for it, and then you've got the H kit nose, which is basically the same as this, but these are much too small. These are much too small. This is much too small. Nose is much too fat around this area here, and basically the shape is all wrong. So I have made this. So there's my corrected nose. Ignore the seam here. The actual production parts are much nicer fit. So there we go. And I'll put a picture up now of somebody that's bought one and actually fitted it to their model. You can see how nice it looks. It's just all fitted properly and blended in. I've also made this a little bit too long here. I think I've put the nose a bit too far forward. So that's something you need to work out with your references and everything. But basically, there we go. So that comes with a separate nose, that piece there. These pods on the side are separate, so you can build a G or an H. The H has a stiffener panel in there, and then you've got these two fairings here are separate as well. So basically, you can do what you like with that one. So that's the late, and then you've got the early nose. This is the early G nose. Side profile, it's actually not too bad, but it doesn't have any chines, and it's way too fat here. So here's my G nose, which you can see it's not a lot of difference, but this is actually the correct shape. You know, I'm not saying dimensionally it's absolutely perfect. What I am saying is I have done I've looked at many pictures and many images. I don't use drawings, I don't trust them, but you can see here I haven't removed any plastic from the actual kit. This area you can see how much fatter it is and how much wider it is around the front, so that's why this extends all the way up under there to reduce all this area. And it also has the chines and the knacker ducts too. The rear undercarriage bay roofs are the same as the front undercarriage bay roofs, which are incorrect, so I've made new undercarriage bay roofs. This is actually a second, it's got a bubble in it, so this won't go out, but this is all I've got at the moment to show you. So there's the two undercarriage bay roofs, and then you've got this rear bulkhead here which goes up in to stop you having to look up through here just into an empty space. So that kind of fits inside the rear fuselage, sort of like that. So that's what you're looking up into when you look up into the rear of the fuselage. So that's better than looking at a hole. Then there's the engines. Now the engines in the G kit are very simple. So I've made these are the the exhaust tail, you know, the outer cone where the supersonic boom things go on there, the 3 petals, and then you'll have the tail cone inside there. That's the nose cone that goes on the front of the engine, and that's the piece that goes in between the two. Now this is basically designed to be used with the Edard engine set for the B. So basically you've got your IGV there, inlet guide vanes go in there, and then inside there, I don't know if you can see it, there is a step where you go in from behind and you put your first compressor stage in, and then in your tail cone here you can see again there's a step inside there that you actually put your turbine and everything in from behind. So that's going to sit, that's going to sit in there on the outside. That's going to sit against a I can't remember what you call it now, the sort of the frame that goes around, and then you've got that going behind that, and then you've got the rear turbine going in front of that. So the engines aren't see-through, but you have got the effect of having separate blades and IGVs on the front, and then you've got your nose cone attached as well. So that's a nice update. It requires some modification to the engine cowlings to make them fit, but I've done a video on that, so go back and have a look. Tanks, Model Collect tanks are ridiculous. They're way oversized and the pylons are much too thick. So I've actually made some working from photographs again, and they've come out really well. This is one here, this is with the sprue attachment on it, and you've got your 2 lugs in there to fit directly into the Model Collect wing. It's also got the weld seams on it there, and yeah, it's a really nice part, and it's dimensionally correct. You can see the difference there. And if I remember, I'll put a picture up now of these tanks fitted to a finished H model. And I've also now made these to fit the Italeri kit. So you've got the slot in the top. The whole wing profile is different on the Italeri AMT kit. So I've made tanks now for that. So luckily they're the same left and right. These you have to have a port and a starboard. You can see I've got left and right on here, even though I think it might be the wrong way around. But it's obvious which way they go when you fit them, because the actual wing is way back here, and the actual recess in the wing, in the pylon that fits on the wing, is obviously handed. But yeah, so there you go. So these are just, they're not handed, they go in either way, but you've just got that little lug on there that fits into the slot in the AMT wing. And that is that. My next project I'm working on now are tailplanes, and I'll just show you first of all. Actually, this is a Revell Monogram tailplane, and this is dimensionally correct. It's about 1.5–2 millimeters too long overall when you look at both of them, but when you actually compare it to the Model Collect tailplane, you can see how much shorter it is. Now I know the Model Collect kit part, which I have here, has a small extension on it, but it's no way is it that much. And basically this is all incorrect because it has there's none of the panel that goes in there for the change of angle of attack, and the actual whole tailplane moves, so this shouldn't be blended in here anyway. There should be an actual gap. So if you look at the Revell Monogram kit, it's much more correct. Kit, I meant. So what I've done is made this. I've got some, these are just prototypes. I'm making some finished molds now, but basically we've got the Revell Monogram tailplanes. However, they are correctly scribed. I have a feeling these vortex generators are slightly too far back, and I've also included the tip light cowling. I haven't put any lights in there, but you've got the tip light cowling for the H. So if you're building a G, you can just sand those off. It's quite easy. But I'm not going to make separate molds just to have that removed. And we've also got, I've got these upside down, we've also got the, is it the chaff or the flare housings inscribed in there. So you've got actually left and right. When you look at these, they've got a top engraved into them, so these are actually upside down. And I've also made replacement side pieces which are here, and they slot into the fuselage, and they will basically save you having to sand off all of this here and cut the slot, so you can basically just stick them in. You've got your long slot in there which that goes into, and then on the other side that one's going to go below it like that. They just lock into each other and stay in like that. So they are slightly heavier. They're about double the weight. They're about 40 grams each, but it doesn't make them on into the tail sitter because the wings are so heavy. So yeah, so you've got the improvement in there in the better scribing. You've got vortex generators both sides, which Model Collect don't give you. You've got a far better demarcation on the elevator, and also this is all incorrect on the end. It's all a bit too soft and rounded. We all know the B-52 has a very definite, huge tail plane. It's almost like a Fokker DR1, isn't it, with the massive tail planes on it. So so that's my latest one, which I'm working on at the moment. I've yet to make the little piece that goes in there, but I don't know if you can have got sellotape on, which doesn't help, but you can see that in there I've got the cutout in there ready for that piece to go into, and then when that fits on, you're just going to fit them on. No filling, no blending, you're just going to have them like that, and you'll have that piece in there that fills the gap. And then the tail piece here, this is the incorrect tail unit that came with the initial G kit. That's just going to fit in there. You're going to have to sand this off because obviously you've got your different tails. This is the tail from a later G. Sorry, this is the tail from an early G. This is just fictitious. You may decide to leave some of that on there. You may decide to add some plastic card, but obviously the actual slight taper on the back is slightly different, I believe. So you know, I'm not going to make all separate tail planes just to suit, you know, each individual kit, but whatever you decide to do is what you decide to do. But in real life they are just a straight line, and that down there should be a straight line. So if that's tapering off more steeply than that is, then the kit is actually incorrect. Maybe it's not, maybe that's fine, but I don't know. So there we go. So that's it for my parts, and that is my blatant plug, shameless plug there. So let's have a look at something else. So another thing I forgot to mention, guys, currently working on a AGM-28 pylon with a HSAB and the mirrors on the bottom. Now this is obviously from the Revell kit, rescribed it and everything, cut the top off, adding a new piece in here to fit to the Model Collect wing, and this will be a G conversion. Now if you want to do this onto a air-launched cruise missile aircraft, the actual pylon was a lot fatter, just on the top, the actual mounting. So you'll have to do some scratch building there, but I'm basically doing this as a G, so the G had a slimmer pylon mounting in the actual wing. So and then also what I would suggest is get your mirrors from Edard, and obviously it won't come with any bombs or anything, so you have to go aftermarket, get yourself some bombs, get yourself some mirrors, and go down that route. These will be available very, very soon. They're nearly finished, but as I say, I've used the Revell part, rescribed it and everything. I've got to add some detail on here, add some detail along there, and then we're away. So yeah, that's it for my parts. So there we go, guys. Sorry about that shameless plug. I know some of you will have seen it before, but probably some won't. So just to basically cover, don't forget eBay, BirdBizR, BirdBizR. He's on a US eBay site, and he's got Dymo tape for sale. He's got loads of it. Midwest Model Shop, if you are watching, I'd love to know why you took your channel down. I for one am going to miss you, and I know a lot of people are going to miss you. I've had a couple of people comment that you've gone, and yeah, going to miss you. Again, thank you to all the guys that give me money on Patreon and PayPal. It's much appreciated. You'll all get a shout out in my October video, so everybody that's donated in September will get a shout out. So yeah, thanks again, Barry, for that kit. It's a beaut. It is a beaut. And I'll see you all soon, guys. So thanks for watching. As I say, part 15 of the beginner's build will be up with you soon. We need to look at something other than B-52s, because I'm sure there's people that are getting buffed out and buffed off. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you all soon. Cheers. Take care. Happy modelling. Stay safe.